welcome back, folks, to another Brand on Demand. As you know, I am your host, Dr. Faye, and who you see on the screen is my next guest. And I know many of you are talking about, how do I get through a struggle? How do I reboot my life? How do I start over from a setback? How do I get back from a setback? Maybe it's been a divorce. Maybe it's been COVID. And for you, it could have been cancer. I don't know what it was for you, but I do know this, that there is a comeback. And the lady you see on the screen right now is one of my new besties. And we connected through an event a few weeks ago, I believe. And I tell you, some people you meet and they just touch your heart so deeply. That's why I knew I wanted to do this story today, right here on Brand on Demand. My guest today has come back a few times, has had a few setbacks, but she comes back. She comes back and she's excited. She's on fire. And I think her story will inspire you and transform your life today. So wherever you're watching this, don't dare miss a moment, because this is going to be transformational. So for the next 45 minutes, I want you to help me welcome my friend and guest today, Michelle Risa. Welcome, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. A pleasure to be with you. As I've been saying, I'm so excited to co-create with you. Really am.
Absolutely. Well, Michelle, you've kicked cancer amid the pandemic. While many people were focusing in on COVID, you were still going through a place in your life, a moment in time that you were fighting for your life, but you had a system in place because this wasn't the first time. So I want to hear your story again and allow my audience the opportunity to hear your story for the first time, Michelle.
All right. Well, I'll start by saying I was familiar with cancer, having experienced it with my grandparents, right? And even my mom, having believed that she too would get that diagnosis. And so let me say to your audience right now, so they get this tip, what we believe is what we manifest, right, Dr. Faye?
Absolutely.
And I made it I was very clear, I made it my commitment that I will be believing and determining what I manifest, right? I can't control what shows up necessarily. This around me, I cannot, but I can, instead of reacting, choose to respond, right, to this stimuli. So as you're saying, my story was during COVID, 2020 got cancer, again this year, 2021 was diagnosed with cancer. And both times, last year, throughout chemo radiation, in 5 weeks, the tumor was gone, much to the amazement of doctors. And this
whoa. Slow your roll, sister.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so you're no, don't apologize, because I want people to really get this, because there are a lot of you that are suffering. You're going through some terminal illness or diagnoses that you're concerned about, or maybe you're like Michelle's mom, who feared the diagnosis, just living in fear from the word cancer, as if it's the biggest thing that could ever come into your life, or whatever it may be. So Michelle, so one day you're apparently healthy a year or so ago, and you go to the doctor.
Right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'll slow down and start wherever you suggest. So let me be clear that throughout my life, since I was 16, which was a few days ago, I had my tonsils taken out. And that was the last time I ever was in a hospital or ever had any surgery. Okay, so from the year I was 16 till 2 years ago, totally healthy, ran New York City marathons. Wow. Okay. There's an exercise called plank, where your body is parallel to the floor, just your elbows and feet are touching the floor. And I was able to hold that for often 8 to 9 minutes or 10, which was long for many people. So let me be clear to everyone. I lived very healthily, and I, again, created that. Let me also share that. I eat healthily. I do exercise. I ensure I get sleep. If everyone, and I know we all know this,
Mhm.
however, if we can just recommit to that,
Mhm.
it will truly have us have different energy levels, different problem solving, focusing abilities, etc. I won't go through all of that. I know you know it very
We'll go
well.
through some a little bit later, but
So,
you're living this healthy life.
and then boom, I just feel something is off. I had gone to my OBGYN. She
Mhm.
did not catch it. And I went back to her and I said, something's off.
Mhm.
Needless to say, she then did a biopsy where it came back positive.
Mhm.
And after getting 3 opinions, that's what I do. I don't get just one.
Right.
I created a protocol, Dr. Faye, that was both the conventional medicine approach. So I got chemo and radiation.
Okay.
And also I engaged people like yourself who work in the energetic field and are healers. Yes. And we know the power not only of our bodies, but of our emotions, our mind, our heart, and our spirit. So
Yes.
that's the formula. So I hope that's helpful to people listening. I'm very holistic
Mhm.
in my approach to life.
Sure.
And so I engaged and created the same approach to that diagnosis. What all can I do to not only address that which was harmful to me,
Mhm.
but what else could I do to grow, to enhance my immune system? And let me say what one healer said to me, which maybe will make all of you kind of laugh. So as I was combining chemo and radiation and the healer's energy, meeting with each, I had 6 of them, as
Okay.
far west as New Zealand, as far east as Italy. All
Mhm.
right. So they were all over the world.
Right.
We would speak every day or do a meditation every day. And one said to me, Michelle, see your tumor as your beloved.
Mm.
So if people can now have that as the second tip, one was be very holistic, trust what you feel, trust your body. And thirdly, I would advocate a very holistic approach to whatever, if it's not cancer, Dr. Faye, even if it's, I just lost my job, I went through a divorce, whatever the challenge is,
Mhm.
to try to see how to approach it from as many vantage points as possible, because there often is not just one silver bullet or one way
Yeah.
to heal something or approach something.
Yeah.
And I now want you to speak. Saying my tumor is my beloved reinforces my belief that the power of love is supreme, is
That
all is
that
all
is
that we need.
something, yeah, that is something totally out of the box, because you're saying that this this tumor now is my beloved. And so I can feel people going like, huh? How can something that's trying to kill me be my beloved?
Yes,
Um,
yes,
but that was step 3. But first of all, you said that you lived a holistic life, and you live a holistic life, healthy, running marathons, eating properly, getting the right rest,
yes,
and yet you go to the doctor, and because you know your body,
yes,
you knew that the doctor had missed
yes.
something. And your
So
body was sending you the signals, sending you the information. The Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And many times I think we miss the signals and the signs that certain things are not normal. They are not supposed to be there. And that we should not be ignoring those signals that the body is sending. And
thank you.
because we go to the doctor, don't assume that the degree is the answer.
So
Go ahead.
trust. I'll punctuate what you're saying by saying, trust yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not trust your doctors. I believe in medical professionals.
Yes.
I'm using the word and, not or, and trust yourself as well. Trust yourself.
Tell us, because you're going to have to tell us now. How did you learn to look at a tumor as your beloved?
And I had the same reaction you did. I went, what? However, right, and I know you know this, and many of your listeners do as well, we at some level have heard and sensed the power of love. We hear that, that love heals all, right, and empowers all. We know the power of love. And so though I couldn't immediately apply that, as you said, to something that was killing me, I knew if I were to heal the worst of the worst, that is killing me. So now let me extract even to another person who's coming to me with a gun or a knife or is looking to harm me. What other defense, what better defense, could I possibly offer? And I appreciate both. Defend yourself. So I did a lot of work to strengthen my immune system. That was my strengthening myself, while at the same time offering love. So let me also categorize that balance, Dr. Faye, as the masculine and the feminine, the inhale and the exhale, right? I'm never just inhale, and that's the masculine, just fight. No, we all know we can't survive by only inhaling. We also need to surrender and exhale. So my approach, my more balanced, holistic approach, always includes both. So yes, I shuddered when she told me to do that. And yet deep in my heart, I said, of course, and thank you. Because what better component can I add to my healing, if you want, regiment or protocol, than unconditional love?
Yeah, because what I'm hearing is that the tumor becomes your beloved, but at the same time, well, we don't want that in here. Got to turn off this phone. So what I'm hearing is that the tumor becomes your beloved. At the same time, you're really just loving all of you.
Yes.
Because I'm hearing, this is what I'm hearing within myself, Michelle, that in order for me to love it, I've really got to love me, because I am the very vessel, I'm the container here. And I can't separate that from who I am, from me. No. So the love is going toward me. So anything that is contrary to love has to disintegrate, has to dissipate. Because I go back to my roots and my go-to book, the Bible, where it says God is love. And so often, Michelle, throughout the ancient texts, we see God calling us his beloved.
Yes.
So since and I look at the word beloved as you be the one who loved, you be the one who's loved. So being loved is loving yourself so completely, because you can't give away what you don't possess.
Exactly.
Love yourself as you love your enemies. Really, the original says, love yourself first, put the mask over yourself first, then you can love others. So I hear what you're saying, and that's why love is oozing out of you, because you truly love Michelle. And so whatever is not Michelle's has to go.
And let me say, I've needed to learn how to love Michelle, Dr. Faye.
I gotcha.
I don't believe, maybe some of us know from the very beginning, I believe we forget.
Yeah.
I believe we forget what it is. And some of us, including myself, were told to go out and get love, from someone or something outside of me.
Go find love.
right? So in a spouse or your children or even your parents, or a thing, or car, a house,
Yeah.
success. And let me say that it's a wonderful knowing that you are responsible,
Mhm.
as you say, because once I begin to love me, I
Mhm.
then journey through the world exuding love,
Yeah.
right? And then all of what we've been taught to give, we give from our heart and unconditionally.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's the only kind of love there really is,
There's the only kind of love that there
right?
is, because when we talk about God is love, the creator is love, that's the very definition of the one who brought us to the party. That's the very definition of all that exists. So that love can only be expressed through us.
And
And go ahead, go ahead.
let me
I know
offer
this
one
is a
other,
hot topic. This is a hot
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
You get
One
on
other,
about self-love and learning to love yourself and love yourself to the point that you heal yourself.
yes, yes. And what component I added to that
Mhm.
is my belief, and I ask people to note this, my belief that given God is love and my soul, I believe, loves me.
Yeah.
If my soul is bringing this experience to me,
Mhm.
then even if in this moment of being diagnosed with cancer, I can't see the love,
Mhm.
I trust it is there.
Yeah.
And so I ask, right, that's another suggestion to everyone, that regardless of what shows up, how it shows up,
Mhm.
it is offering, it can do nothing other than serve us,
Yeah.
right? Even
Yeah.
if I can't see how in that
Mm.
moment,
Right.
because nothing that is brought to me, if we're
Mm.
believing in God and our soul,
Yes.
right, it has to be from love.
Yeah.
And so we, if everyone's following that, then with that belief, we literally make that so. Do you see that it just becomes this truth that that just repeats itself, and like maybe a wave of an ocean just keeps spreading over
Mhm.
and over again. So no matter what shows up, even
Yeah.
if I can't see
Yeah.
how it's loving,
Mhm.
like cancer, like a divorce, like losing your job,
Mhm.
right? It need not only be a physical disease
Mhm.
or mental anguish, depression,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
That all of this, if we can just, and here's my tip, press the pause button, step back to witness again from, again, as I said before, a more holistic perspective, take a step back to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I believe in just those seconds as we repeat that.
Mhm.
I'm going to add one more thing as you step back, just so we remember
Mhm.
that as we step back and we can't see the love in that moment, here's what I do. I whisper to myself, which I wish I would have done to my 5-year-old self. I whisper to myself, you are loved.
Mhm.
You are loved.
Yeah.
And I ask
Absolutely.
everyone if they can close their eyes, Dr. Faye, just for 10, maybe not 10 seconds, but about, and just
Mhm.
whisper to yourself in this moment, I am loved.
Yeah.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am loved. And trust that.
Yes.
Trust it. Now you may have to repeat that all day long.
Oh, yes.
First times, because you're fighting through all of the stuff, the layers of what other people said that you were, and what other people may think of you, and what religion taught you, take care of everybody else, but then don't take care of you. You're not serving. You're not a vessel ready to serve. You're not looking holistically through those lenses, because you're looking um, you're looking one-sided, and you're thinking that you just got to always go and run and take care of other people. You have to take this pause that Michelle is speaking of right now and take care of you. Listen, folks, We need you
Mhm.
whole.
Yes.
We want you whole because we cannot do this without you being in place. You have a position of power and we want you to walk in it. That's why we bring the best of the best right here on Brand on Demand, because we want you to rise up. I don't care what it is, regardless of what it is, I should say, that has come into your circle, into your space, because the first place that it came in was in your mind. And was it that thought to think that something bad and detrimental to your life is happening, when in reality, as Michelle has pointed out so beautifully, that this has come to serve you in some way, and
Yes.
trust the process. You know, Michelle, as a Christian, we quote a lot of scripture. We talk about what the Bible says, but many people have found it difficult to merge the gap, to close the gap between what it is saying and how we are manifesting it. And I believe you've hit on something here today, that the way we're manifesting it is through love. And it begins with loving ourselves and knowing
And
that we are more than a body. We are spirit beings. We have a soul and we live in these bodies. And that soul is the house of the mind, the will, the emotions, the intellect, the desires. So when you've gone through trauma as a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, you've been abused in some way and you've been made to feel like you're worthless, then you think God is looking at you as if you're worthless, but that's not true. God still sees you through the eyes of his beloved. Oh, Lord
yes.
Jesus,
Yes.
Michelle. God, he
Yes.
doesn't see you through the eyes of your trauma. He doesn't see you through the eyes of your pain. He sees you through the eyes of beloved. He knows you are his beloved. And what he is waiting for you to do is to come into agreement with him that
Yes.
you are beloved. So Michelle said, take 10 seconds, take 10, take 15. Listen, let me tell you something. Take all day if it takes it for you, because I know some of you have been to hell. Some of you have been through some hard places. And it's work, isn't it, Michelle? Please, you're the expert here on that. It's work, isn't it?
Absolutely. But just remember, before we go, ooh, to work, what did it take for us to go from crawling to walking, Dr. Faye?
Yeah.
Right? Did all of us go, ooh, this is this is too much work. I think I'll just crawl. Right? We didn't. There was something within us. So whoever's listening, maybe there's something within you, right? Within them that says, I don't need to make it a struggle. I can make it, just as you said, a practice, right? A practice. Knowing, like any other practice, the more we do, the better we get at it.
Yeah.
Whether it be from crawling to walking, or maybe riding a bicycle, right? Or playing a sport, or singing, even a song, right? We know there are people who are singers, they practice their instrument.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's only in the practice that we become masters of our life.
Yeah.
And we move from knowing something, even in scriptures, knowing it, being able to preach it, to say it, to living it.
Yeah.
And that's the leap, I believe, that once we say, okay, I'm ready to leap, and leap again.
Yeah.
Try again.
Yeah.
With love, I'm committed. This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's not just getting where we want to go, but the process, Dr. Faye, being infused with love.
Yeah.
I'm determined to go from crawling to walking, to view the world and experience the world differently from this perspective.
Yeah.
Right. Then that's when we become masters of our life. Right.
Yeah.
So yes, it requires a beautiful, beautiful practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that the motivating factor there, you'll want to keep moving when you love yourself. You'll want to get out of bed when you love yourself. You'll be excited about your days again. How does that feel, folks? You'll be excited about your days again instead of thinking, oh, mundane Monday, or whatever name you call your Mondays, with a hop Wednesday, or whatever it is. Every day will be a delight. Scripture says that this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It'll become more than something just rolling off your tongue. It will roll out of your heart, and you will be filled with enthusiasm and excitement. And what happens then, I believe that when you catch on fire, everything around you goes ablaze, because you are the catalyst for change. You're the agent of change. That someone is waiting to hear your voice. Michelle, I just feel like people need to hear this today, is that you're the voice that someone is waiting on to hear. They have been waiting. They can't move until you open your voice, open your mouth, and begin to speak and declare and decree in their lives, because you have what God has given you, and nobody else can do what you can do. Your voice is needed in the earth today. We want you to rise up. Michelle and I certainly want you to rise up from sitting and playing small when you have so much goodness on the inside of you. And you can go through physical healing, mental, emotional healing. You do have comeback on the inside of you, waiting for you to activate it. And one thing I know for sure is that God will meet you where you are. He will move when you move. I remember the story of Peter and the disciples being on the boat, and they looked out and they saw this man walking on the water. And they said, oh, is it him? Is it Jesus? Is it the Lord? And Peter said, Lord, if it's you, bid me come. And Jesus said, come. So Peter stepped out of the boat on the water. He turned and his eyes began to see the waves and the storms, and he began to sink. But here's what happened. Jesus saved him, reached out and pulled him up. You see, God will meet you if you'll dare get out of the boat. Don't worry about the circumstances.
No,
don't worry
exactly.
about the how.
Exactly.
If you get out of the boat, God will meet you and things will begin to happen for you. So somebody just needed to get out of the boat, Michelle, today. So that was a word for them. But Michelle, you went through cancer once and manifested wholeness, healing, physical healing in your body. And you gave us the steps on how you did this, how you did it. You engaged other healers. You spoke to other people. You actually engaged a community of people that were cheering you on and pouring into you. Mentors and counselors and coaches. I always say nobody is to travel alone. God said it wasn't
exactly what I was going to say as another tip or suggestion to everyone. We were never meant to journey alone. And it's so much easier when we travel, just as I'm feeling traveling with you, to travel with like-hearted.
So much fun.
Right? And right. I mean, and of course, there's also that expression, if we want to go alone, we can. If you want to go fast, go alone. If we want to go long, do it with others, for the long term. There's that African expression as well. So I say, right, in addition to the many things we've said, like trust yourself, learn how to love yourself, please, and practice, just make every step another glorious practice to also, as we're discussing, connect with others. And everyone will not, please. Everyone doesn't even agree that it's sunny outside. So we don't need to worry about those who may not see the sun as we do. It's okay. So connect, as I have connected with you, with those who share values and share a vision, and make the journey sweeter and easier.
It does, because you have these connections now globally. I have connections globally, and people who are expertise in other areas that I rely upon. And we are able to share our strengths and even our weaknesses, because where one is weak, the other has the strength in that area. I don't know everything about everything. I just know God knows everybody, and he's able to connect me with anybody anytime he wants to, and he can do the same thing for you. So while you're watching this right now, I want you to think of at least 3 people. It's not going to be difficult. 3 people that you feel will make a good circle for you. They could be friends. I don't know, just people. I like people who maybe don't know me as well, because they can come from a different perspective. Like, they're not remembering me when I was 21. Like, okay, but way back then, I don't need those people in my circle like the one I'm describing to you, Michelle. I need people who will see me, who I am today, embrace who I am today, and be able to speak to the person that I have become today. And so, folks, do this for yourselves. Find people on purpose. Don't just spend social media time just, showing what you had for lunch. I don't know who does that, but spend some time locating your tribe of people that you can bring home to mama, that you can put in your circle. Maybe a girls club, get you a small group of people where you can have virtual coffee with and sit down and have conversations about your journey, your business, your life. Maybe it's about your health and how can you do better. I'm glad I met Michelle, because I'm telling you, she's spoken to my heart already about some things that I am doing. And I've gotten on fire again, Michelle, about my health and about my vision and all of these things that are taking place in my life, because I have been spent. And there are people who are watching right now. You've been spent. You don't feel like you have anything left in you to give, but I promise you, you do. Michelle has told us about her comebacks, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about 360 Health, how you too can become a part of that. She's a worldwide executive speaker. She's been on many platforms. And let me tell you, as humble as she is today, the woman knows her stuff. She knows what she's doing. She's been there. She's done that. She's an expertise in her area. And it would benefit anyone who wants to get better in health and better in life to be connected with Michelle Risa. Michelle, tell us more about 360 Health.
Thank you. And let me put a caveat to what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
For all of those who may not believe what you and I are sharing, all I'll say is try it, right? There is no substitute for your own experience. So don't believe me, don't believe Dr. Faye. Just it's like a smorgasbord, Dr. Faye, a table with different plates and different foods available.
Honey, I'm down south. Yes, we know about a smorgasbord.
Okay. Well, I'm also speaking to whoever's listening, wherever they may be. So just saying, I'm just saying, just like that, taste something that maybe you haven't tasted before. And the only way is not to judge it by how it looks, or maybe in this instance, how it sounds, but experience it for yourself. Take some of what we are saying and just try it.
Yeah.
And of course, again, I'll say not just once, because we know that is not sufficient, right? We again did not go from crawling to walking in one effort, right? The moment we decided to stand, it took repeated tries. So I'm just wanted to add to what you said, please experience this for yourself and find the truth for you. And if it's not, throw it out. Throw it out. If it doesn't work for you, but give it a try.
Yeah. So Michelle, that is great. You're saying be open.
And yes, be open and experience it. Because again, if it's just in your mind, oh, this doesn't match what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Then we never learn, right? We know that we walk into school not with a full cup, I know everything, because then whatever a teacher pours into our cup, it flows out. But we walk into situations, classrooms, let's say this is, and I think this is the best classroom God could have possibly created, right? Yeah. So here we are, and come in with an empty cup or not full cup, so that you can receive what might be here for you and try it, sample it, taste it.
Yeah,
Is what I wanted to add.
Each of these shows, Michelle, there are gold nuggets that are dropped. Now, we can be here for 40, 45 minutes, and not everything we say will register with every one of you.
Mhm.
But there is something here because you were guided to watch this show today. And because you were guided here, find out why. What's in it for you? Because there's something here. Go ahead, Michelle. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries. No, it's perfect. So 360 Health came as a result of my first year with cancer, right? And I include in that program all of the healers that I worked with. Okay. So it's a combination of a webinar or a Zoom meeting, if you will, where information is offered. And then each of these healers offer an hour of their healing, all very different, of course. We all approach energy and healing differently. So it's such a gift to experience each and every one of them. And along with it is a 80-page workbook, where, again, like the smorgasbord, you're given another plate or food to taste, experience to have. And it's for the next week, try this. For the next week, try this. Yeah. And that then really underscores all of what we've been talking about. A very rich, varied, diverse, holistic approach. And the opportunity to at least try something each week, so that, again, it's not just for 1 hour or 1 moment, but you have the experience. And then at the end of it's a 3-month program. At the end of it, you get to determine your own formula, right? You take from all of what you experienced, create your own formula, what resonated with you, your own rhythm. Right. And it's varied, from journaling to yes, food to yes, yoga to, it's, again, very, very broad, as you would imagine. And I'll stop there. The other program that I give, and I'm actually give it every month. So if people don't catch it this month, they might be interested next. It's called Healing Conversations. And I just want to mention it. It's a free program. It's for 1 hour, and it offers us the opportunity to practice communication skills, given we're so polarized, many of us, whether it be in our community or even in our family, so that we can go from a contentious conversation to one of connection. Yes. And it offers many actions to take, of course, just again to practice. And it's a way for us to, I'll say, instead of speaking, listening, while giving the gift that Dalai Lama has said, the gift of being heard. When we listen, we give the other the gift of being heard. And we, I believe, all yearn to not only be heard, but belong. Yes? So just offering, if anyone's interested, I think you'll be providing my LinkedIn information. They can contact me there, and happy to let you know when we're meeting again next month.
Yeah, definitely. And folks, you will see that information here on the screen. For LinkedIn, you can contact Michelle at Michelle Risa, that's Risa on LinkedIn. And what will they look for in case, are you the only Michelle Risa on LinkedIn?
And it's Risa, R-I-S-A, Risa.
R-I-S-A, yes.
Yes. So
Risa.
yes, I believe I am. And again, you'll have that link. And if they use that link, they will connect with me. And I'll be happy to give you the information. Yes.
Michelle, this has been so rich. No, please finish your thought.
No, I'm good. I want you to.
Well, this has been such a pleasure to just be able to share in the same space with you and speak to the hearts of people who that this will resonate with, so that they can get unstuck. Now, folks, we bring a lot of voices here on Brand on Demand because I care. And I know God cares. People like Michelle care about people. We are here to serve you. Yes, we have products and services. Michelle and I both are coaches and we both are business owners. And yes, we believe that those tools are gifts that we have been given to share with you to help you activate your own gifts and that you too can do the same thing. Now, if you have a pen, write down all of her information. Michelle, I'm going to let you give it to them. Tell people how to get in touch with you again. And folks, when she gives it to you, write it down because you'll think, oh, I'll remember. Please. We think we will remember, but we don't, especially with so much going on. So Michelle, if you'll give them that information, how to get in contact with you so that there can be complete follow-up.
Okay, so for LinkedIn, it's www.linkedin, linkedin.com//LN for LinkedIn /Michelle Risa, and my name is spelled MICHELERISA, and I believe there's another slash after that. So that's LinkedIn. If you'd like to email me, please. Very simple. My first initial, M, my last name, Risa, RISA, 11 @Gmail. So maybe that's even easier. MRISA 11 @Gmail. And finally, if you like, visit my website. It's always being changed and updated, but come see what maybe resonates with you. And it's at collaborativsolutionsco.com. I'll spell it. COLLABORATIVE SOLUTIONS co.com. So collaborativesolutions.com. And I hope you've heard, if there's any truth that I have lived for so long, when I named my company this back in the early 90s, it's about collaboration. Yes, collaborative solutions. That's what we're all about these days.
I love it. I love it. And I love you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being with us. Folks, you've just heard the voice and the testimony and story, just capsulated form from Michelle Risa, like Lisa, but Risa.
Yes.
And she is an award-winning co-author of Conscious Entrepreneurs, a radical new approach to purpose, passion, and profit. A TV producer since 1998, bringing positivity to an otherwise negative news environment. Ladies and gentlemen, she conducted meditation of the United Nations and advocates for the SDGs.
They're
SDGs. I don't have on my glasses.
That's
SDGs and peace. That's Michelle. More about Michelle. And if you want to know more, and I know you do, go visit her at www.collaborationsolutions. Is that co.com?
Yeah, collaborative, TIVE, collaborativesolutions.com. But again, go to LinkedIn or just email me. That might be easier yet.
And you'll find her information right there on LinkedIn. Get connected, message her, and she will connect with you. Tell her, let her know that you heard her right here with Dr. Faye on Brand on Demand. God bless you. Until next time, remember, the calling is a gift, but the choice is yours. Bye-bye now.